Before we do anything else today, let's do a very simple erectile dysfunction self-check. In the next 30 seconds, you're going to get a quick snapshot of whether your body may be showing deeper patterns that could be affecting erections right now. No awkward language, no complicated medical terms, no guessing, just honest answers. If you are over 60 and you've been noticing weaker erections, less firmness, lower confidence, reduced desire, or a body that just does not respond the way it used to, this matters more than many men realize. Because erectile dysfunction rarely shows up with one single clear explanation. It usually develops as a pattern. Less blood flow here, a little more stress, a little worse sleep, a little more belly fat, and men often call all of it just getting older. I'm Dr. James Whitaker, and here is how this works. You are starting with a perfect score of 7 points. I'm going to describe 7 hidden causes that often contribute to erectile dysfunction after 60. For each one that sounds like it may apply to you, subtract 1 point. At the end, you'll have a clearer sense of whether your body may be showing a broader pattern worth paying attention to. And stay with me until the end, because the number one mistake men make with ED is the one that keeps them focused on the symptom while missing the real story underneath it. Let's begin. You start with 7 points. Number 1. Do you have high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes? If yes, subtract 1 point. Number 2. Do you sleep poorly, snore heavily, wake up often, or feel tired even after a full night in bed? If yes, subtract 1 point. Number 3. Have you gained belly fat, lost muscle, or become much less physically active than you used to be? If yes, subtract 1 point. Number 4. Do you take multiple daily medications, and have you never really considered whether any of them may be affecting sexual function? If yes, subtract 1 point. Number 5. Have stress, frustration, or lower confidence started showing up more often in your intimate life? If yes, subtract 1 point. Number 6. Have you noticed lower sex drive, less morning firmness, or a reduced sense of sexual responsiveness overall? If yes, subtract 1 point. Number 7. Do you find yourself treating ED as a private bedroom problem instead of a whole body health signal? If yes, subtract your final point. Now look at your number. If you scored 6 or 7, that is a stronger starting point. You may not be showing as many obvious hidden drivers right now, and that is good news. If you scored 4 to 5, your body may be sending early signals. That does not automatically tell us the exact cause, but it does mean the pattern deserves attention. If you scored 3 or lower, please don't panic and don't feel embarrassed. Many older men live with these changes for years without ever realizing that erections can reflect much more than one simple issue. The goal today is not fear, it is understanding. Go ahead and write your score in the comments. I'd also like to know your age, where you're watching from, and which part concerns you most right now. Is it weaker erections, less firmness, more performance anxiety? Save your score, because we're coming back to it. Now let me give you 1 minute of simple science. An erection is not just a sexual event. It is a blood flow event, a nerve event, a hormone event, and a brain event all happening together. Mayo Clinic, Cleveland Clinic, and NIDDK all make it clear that erectile dysfunction can be connected with blood vessel disease, diabetes, certain medications, low testosterone, stress, anxiety, poor sleep, and other health changes that affect the body as a whole. Here is what makes this tricky after 60. A lot of men assume erections change only because of age. But age is often just the background. The real drivers are things like weaker circulation, metabolic changes, chronic illness, medication effects, lower activity, worsening sleep, and the pressure a man starts placing on himself once things become less predictable. That is why the pattern matters. ED is not always caused by one dramatic problem. It is usually a cluster, several systems moving in the wrong direction at the same time. So now let's count down the 3 biggest messages your body may be sending when erectile dysfunction is part of a larger health picture. We're going from number 3 to number 1, and number 1 is the one most men miss the longest. Number 3 is this. Your body may be telling you that blood flow is not as strong as it used to be. This is one of the most common hidden causes and one of the most important. Erections depend on healthy blood vessels. They depend on good circulation. They depend on the ability of the body to deliver enough blood at the right time and keep it there. Here is how to notice this more clearly. Ask yourself whether your erections have become less firm, less reliable, or more difficult to maintain at the same time that other circulation-related signs may be showing up. Maybe you get winded more easily. Maybe your blood pressure is up. Maybe you've become more sedentary. Maybe diabetes or cholesterol has entered the picture. What should you notice? ED tied to blood flow often feels less like desire is missing and more like the body is not responding with the same physical quality it used to. Why does this matter? Because many men spend years treating ED like a confidence issue when the deeper story may involve their vascular health. The most common mistake is waiting for chest pain or some dramatic event before taking circulation seriously. If you need an easier version of this check, ask yourself one question this week. Has my body been giving me other signs that blood flow or metabolic health may be slipping, not just changes in the bedroom? That question can reveal a lot. Number 2 is this. Your body may be telling you that sleep, hormones, stress, and medications are combining into one bigger pattern. A lot of men focus only on the erection itself. That is understandable. But if sleep is poor, stress is high, testosterone is lower, or medication effects are part of the picture, the sexual change often does not happen alone. It may come with lower energy, reduced desire, less morning firmness, poorer recovery, flatter mood, and a general sense that the whole system feels less responsive. Here is how to think about it more clearly. If erections are weaker, but your sleep is also broken, your energy is also down, your mood is flatter, and your medication list has grown, that broader picture matters. The body is rarely separating these things as neatly as men do in their minds. What should you notice? Hidden ED causes often show up as a loss of overall vitality, not just one isolated sexual complaint. Why does this matter? Because if a man looks only at performance and ignores the rest of the pattern, he may miss what his body is actually asking for. The most common mistake is reducing the entire issue to one bedroom symptom while ignoring sleep quality, stress load, hormone changes, and the possibility of medication side effects. If you need an easier version, ask yourself this. Does this feel like one isolated problem, or does it feel like several parts of my body have lost some of their edge at the same time? That distinction matters. And before we move to number 1, if this video is helping you understand your body more clearly, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to American Urologist. It helps me reach more older men who may be quietly living with these changes but have never had them explained in practical, respectful language. And if you've made it this far, let me know in the comments which hidden ED cause you think men ignore for the longest. Now let's get to number 1. Number 1 is this. Your body may be telling you that erectile dysfunction is not just about performance, it is about the whole man. This is the message men miss the most. A lot of men assume ED is mainly about sex. It is not. When erectile dysfunction develops, some men are also dealing with lower confidence, less physical resilience, more anxiety, less spontaneous desire, more self-monitoring, and a body that no longer feels easy or natural in the same way. They may find themselves overthinking, trying harder, watching themselves too closely, feeling pressure before anything even begins. And because this builds slowly, men adapt instead of understanding. Here is what I want you to watch for. Are you becoming more tense around intimacy than you used to be? Do you feel like your body is changing in several ways at once, not just one? If several of those are moving together, your body is asking for a closer look. What should you notice if you stop minimizing this? Clarity. Because once you see ED as part of a broader health pattern, you stop treating each episode like a separate mystery. Why does this help? Because the bigger picture is what makes the pattern meaningful. One bad night can be many things. A repeated change linked with other shifts in energy, sleep, mood, blood flow, and confidence tells a much stronger story. The most common mistake is waiting until everything feels badly broken before admitting something important has changed. If you need an easier version, remember this. Erectile dysfunction is often not one system failing loudly. It is several systems quietly drifting downward together. Now let me give you 3 daily boosters that can help older men think more intelligently about erectile health. First, protect your blood flow. Daily walking, better metabolic health, and less sitting matter more than many men realize. Erections respond to circulation, and circulation responds to how you live. Second, protect your sleep. Poor sleep and untreated sleep apnea can affect energy, mood, hormones, blood pressure, and sexual function. If your nights are broken or you wake up exhausted, do not ignore that part of the picture. Third, stop looking for one magic cause. Think in clusters. Blood flow, libido, energy, sleep, stress, medications, and confidence together often tell you more than any one sign on its own. Now let's close the loop. Think back to your starting score. If you scored low today, don't let that disappear into the background. Recheck yourself in 2 weeks, not because the symptom will magically change overnight, but because awareness changes how honestly you observe your own body. Track whether the pattern feels stable, improving, or quietly worsening. Today we talked about 7 hidden causes of erectile dysfunction after 60 that many men ignore for too long. And we covered the 3 biggest messages your body may be sending when several of those systems begin drifting in the wrong direction together. This is not about panic. It is about paying attention before the quiet decline becomes your new normal. Your confidence matters, your circulation matters, your sleep matters, and the way your body responds matters too. If this video helped you, share it with another man over 60 who has been noticing changes but has never really understood what may be behind them. And if you want to keep going, watch the next video on your screen, where I'll break down whether ED can be your first heart warning sign and what older men absolutely need to know. I'm Dr. James Whitaker. Stay informed, stay steady, and I'll see you in the next one.